and answer your prayers yourself. Amen. I'll find you. Because there's no way you can be sleeping at a time like this. Let me tell you what shocked me during the break. I'm a student of observation. And I was with IDA just outside there. And it was surprising that I saw folks with the name tags just carrying food packs and going out. And I said, when would, you know, poverty is in the mind. It's in the mind. If you say you're poor, you're poor. You know, and indiscipline is also in the mind. If you are disciplined, you are indisciplined. You can never hear my phone ring in a public gathering. Starting from the days of 090, when phones were 200 and something odd thousand, before mobile came in. And when it's been opened now, we get very lackadaisical. And let me tell you guys, what you're going to hear me say, some of you might feel very bad, and it's okay. Some of you might feel very excited, it's also okay. Some of you may not feel anything at all, it's also okay. You know, it's all about you and no other person. So don't blame anyone. When Governor gave me that topic, I looked up, I looked down, I said, turning ideas into action. Even me standing still, I need action. The best you can look for is the first two letters, ID, where you can say, okay, maybe let me try and relate to something. But I decided I wanted to take you all on my journey, because I'm a very proud Akwa Ibom man. And you may not understand it, not because I'm from Anna, no. But I'm proud of my heritage, because I say it everywhere, that we are one set of people that have never been given the opportunity. That we are servants and so labeled, but the game has changed. Today we are no longer servants, but we are servant leaders. And I say that with every sense of humility. And by the time I finish, you'll understand that your background has nothing to do with where you're going. A lot of allowing, and I don't care if I'm on live television. Listen, and it'd be nice if the governor could actually hear me. He's a good friend of mine. And you've allowed politicians turn your heads around that some of you are not thinking. It's a disgrace. Any Akwa Ibom youth, after today, or listening to television and go back and start begging, you'll beggar, because that's the donkey. If men will come out here and put deposits in your life, and a man will invest his time to get you to move from grass to grace, and you take it for granted, sorry, you will need more than the prodigality of the prodigal son to bring you back. But I trust God that that which you hear, He will give you a heart to understand. That which you will see, He will also give you ears of understanding, a heart to understand, ears to hear, and seeing eyes. Because many of us are just miracles that are waiting, while some are disaster also waiting. It's a question of choose ye which way you want to go. I chose life. And from the day I chose life, I've not turned back. So I'm going to walk you through the journey of what you are known. I am known. I was known, but I changed my address. And I know you may not like it. It's okay. If I'm going to turn ideas into action, I'm going to think about so many things. Pastor, you will not be able to relate with this, but I'll give you a tip across the term. Now, how many of you know this scripture? Jeremiah 29:11. It says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Not the plans the politicians have. Not the plans your parents have. My father wanted me to be an architect and engineer. Today, I'm not an engineer. I am what I am by the grace of God. He says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. What are they? They are plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. If you doubt it and you succumb to other kinds of pressure, then you're stupid. Because the last time I checked, the word of the Lord stands sure. And those that know Him must stand. See, it is a shame. It's a shame that this state once upon a time, and I think my still has produced so many chocolates. But what they've done at the end of the day, we all come in and remove our brains. Whereas the Muslims, what do? They have their brains on and they remove their shoes. Ours is the reverse. And I'm talking about in Nigeria, different monkey and tail. When are we going to rise to take responsibility? Because the Lord says, I have plans for you. But you listen, the young man that came and talked about, God help me. A friend said something to him and he took it hook, line, sinker. But I know one thing, seest thou a man diligent. If you are not diligent, all kinds of deliberate, mysterious focus will be given to you. And you'll be swallowing it. And I want to tell you, I'm a product just like you. By the time I finish my story, you'll then see that there's nothing holding you except you. Nothing. Nothing. This is my story. Now, I put all of this there just for those that want to read. How many of you, they call you a Ete when you walk around? I grew up in Lagos, so they always called me a Ete. And New Masquerade did not make matters easier because of the character, Gringori. Say, okay, I don't take the thing, go young John. And when they see me and they see us then, they regard us. We have been boxed in a place up till now. I still told my friends, incidentally, the chief officer of one of the tech companies is a mentee of mine. And I told him, I said, you're still using my people as a character for testing, to make them laugh. And we end up also behaving that way. We are prophetically following the direction of what people use us. So in my time, the average youth's ambition was to either become a houseboy or a cook. We are exports of labor. Driver, cook, steward, and let me shock you. My father left, okay, let me put this way. My grandfather had 7 wives. My father is the first son of the first wife. I have my cousins sitting here. There are 4 of them. Raise your hands. 4 of them are here. They're my cousins. We are products of the same lineage. But guess what? You can tell I'm the first son and the first child of my father. I sat in Lagos. I didn't have the inspiration that the Yoruba boys had. That they had one uncle that was manager. All my uncles I saw were either coming in to be drivers, mechanics, or cooks or houseboys. And he asked me, so what was inspiring? No. But I made up my mind that one thing I will not do, I will never be a houseboy. I will not be a driver. I will not be a gate man. I will be something that will make the world tilt. It was a personal decision. And I'm telling you, I wasn't born with any silver spoon, but I was born. So don't define the kind of spoon. Yes, I was born, but I wasn't born with any kind of spoon. So you might decide your own spoon, that's your spoon. But I'm blessed to have parents who believe in education. On my part, I studied hard. Though with a lot of rare, if you know what rare means. Rare in Lagos now say we waka. My bros Udo. Same thing, same treatment. I went to Baptist Academy in Lagos. I went to FSS. First time, second time. And at the end, I found myself in University of Cross River State. I came out of Unicross with a second class award. But did we party? We partied. And I didn't live on campus one day. I lived off campus. Never. I never slept in campus. I had my own place. But guess what? Did we party? Yes. Prefab? Yes. Sports? Yes. 360? Yes, yes, yes. So there was nothing we didn't do. But today, my father looked at me and said, he didn't believe that something will come out of Nazareth, being me. Because when he hears reports, we are either going to Calabar. Calabar into road was 45, and we'll have 2 in front, 5 at the back. And then you will find sometimes when it was club and champion, between cigar, club and one naira, bottling. Amadiama, you go pick one. In between lectures, you collect one. So there's nothing you're doing that we didn't go through. The only thing that was not there was social media, which has made your media social. And your life loves it up. So I'm just going to tell you. That's me. I had my first job in 1991 as a management trainee. And I'll tell you a story about it. Now, the location was Lagos. That location could be anywhere in the world. That your own location could be Atina. Your own location could be Rio. Your own location could be Port Harcourt. It doesn't matter. In the scheme of things, known unto God. His ways are his ways. His thoughts are his. So he knows why you had to come through those parents and that time. So he knows why he'll put you at a certain geographical location. It's called GPS today, but God also, he knew. He knew. And so he located me in that space called Lagos. The beauty of it was that we had to go through exams. WAEC. Went to WAEC, was Guinness. I can tell you so many things, but I'm prepared to go this journey. So some of you, when you see a man stand, you need to know that he's not standing just by being a standard man. He's standing, he must be standing on the word of God. Because the only thing that is constant, there's no variableness, there's no shadow, nothing. If without God you are finished. My best friend, who was the best man, was in Nigerian Brews. I would have been in Nigerian Brews, but want to turn up. Wasn't. I applied to Nigerian Brews and they asked us for conditions and they said we should put in call-up letter. That was the only thing I didn't put in, Governor. And I sent it. My friend, my best friend, he was sitting as personnel officer. Otu called me and said, Dad, I've just seen your application. You are not qualified because you didn't meet all the requirements. Your call-up letter is not here. I told him, get away. He said, I'm tearing your application. He put it in the trash can. Today, how many of you would do that? I'm talking about integrity. He knew that I was serving and I needed a job and I would need a job. But he taught. Not long after that, Guinness. When Guinness came out, I learned my lesson. I made sure I dotted my T across my eyes. I didn't take things for granted. I took it for granted. I didn't even know if my friend was going to be personnel officer. We were all invited to examination. The day of the examination, I was serving in health, Port Harcourt. I didn't have 16 naira. I was paid 250 alawi, and health was paying me 250. Don't ask me what I did with it. I was having a good time. I bought the best music equipment. I stayed in a very nice flat in Woji. I had a good time. But then, the time came for me to go. God bless Godwin Ogara, wherever he is. He saw me in the office and said, what are you doing here? He said, oh yeah, this is 16 naira. Enter Aba. That was how I found myself in Lagos, night box. And I went for the Guinness test. Over 4,000 at Yabate. Cut a long story short, there were only 11 that were picked. And I was one of the 11. I didn't know a man or a soul in Guinness. That was my day. See, the gentleman is late, Henry Moffman. That was the Guinness headquarters date. This was my first day at work. This beetle at the back is a beetle. I wanted to show you that I didn't have a car then, but I can't tell you how many cars I bought for people and abused myself, and I'm still. So the things that are chasing you, you're in the wrong place. This is me. Training and hard work. Now you can't compare the man here. See here. Success follows diligence and hard work. You see? This was our group. Now, this guy is late. That's one. George Moore, she was Nigerian Brews. Ken, Nigerian Brews. Chooks is now in UBA. And all the other guys are. This woman owns a chain. This Bola, he was like CMO of MTN. Was one of the mentors I had there. Who was asking whether you need mentors? You need the mentors. Since you're asking, no, I mean it's either positive or negative. You don't need mentors, just mentors, you're okay. And then look at us here. These were the 11 that joined that time. I want to show you because some of you just think that we just appeared from the sun. You go on the internet and read IGN and you think, I went through process. This is part of it. Can you compare that first picture with this one? I was now, look at me, the tide changed. Chuk Someone Ali was with Nigerian Breweries and he moved to Shell. Things were moving. I learned September. I did so many things in Guinness by the grace of God. And then I moved to Coca-Cola. I was in Coca-Cola Africa for 11 years. In Coke, there was nothing. Guinness was like the foundation for me. Coke was now the house. Between the two, 18 years. 18 years of solid, bending my head down. And let me tell you something. And I'll tell you this because of the story I started with. When I joined Guinness as a Calabar man, I was 24 as a trainee. There were over 1,000 staff Guinness had. I was the only full manager. Other seniors were not more than 4 that were in management, but they were assistant managers, the other 3. Every morning, the cleaners, the drivers will come to the office. How many of you have watched Coming to America? No, and say, they will come to greet me. They are just seeing, for the first time in a long time, having someone from that side to be a full manager. I was 24. I was under a lot of pressure. When we get to the management dining room, the cook put my portion very big, was from this side, Nakwa Iboma. He said, Adia. And he will put every other person's portion, normal. Then mine, he will give me 3, because he has seen the difference. So I was under pressure at 24. You're laughing. You say you are youth, you're not hearing. I had to bury my head in the sand and make sure that, listen, I can't be a disappointment to this one. And I moved at every stage of the game. I found myself, all of this, I can tell you so many things. At a point, when I left Coke, I was one of the top 30 managers in Africa. At the time I stayed in Coke, I worked in Atlanta with the chairman of the company and the president. I was chief of staff. 11 years, God took me from different levels to all kinds of levels in Coca-Cola. Then I left and I moved to Cadbury. When Cadbury went down, they sacked the entire board. And from London, they started fishing out who they needed. And they came looking for me. I was down in Cape Town when I got a call. And they said to me, we need you. And I had to fly from Cape Town to Johannesburg is about 3 hours, all right? Now, if you take Cape Town to London, just go do it, over 10 hours. I had to fly into London, and the day I landed in London in the morning, I went in straight to see a psychologist. They took me through a test all day, and at the end of the day, I went to see the president of Cadbury. He said everything he could say, that Cadbury was down, the team was bad, and we just need someone. He thought I would run away. I said, I need that. He said, you're so passionate about it. I said, yes, because I read Jack Welch's book when he talked about winning. I've not seen any true turnaround in Nigeria. I want to be part of this. That will be history. And I said, I want the job. I'll take it. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. Mind you, that same period, I had 6 offers. One of which was to come and serve as a commissioner with information on tourism with Akwabi. He sent one of those to me, and I declined. Bank, UBA with Tony Elumelu. I can tell you, at MTN, at Airtel. Airtel was actually an international role. It was 6 figures in euros, and then I had Cadbury. all the same time. Seest thou a man diligent from Akwa Ibom? You know what? Let me tell you one of the secrets of my life. It's in Psalm 37, Psalm 37. It says, mark the blameless man, observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace. That scripture has been the anchor, and I became the Advan president. I took Advan International, and from there, for the first time, I was elected VP for Africa for the World Federation of Advertisers in China, 2011. And I held that position for 5 years until 2016, and I had to step down, elected. And that's where all the global marketers go to. For 5 years, Stefan Locke still calls me. But I said, so it can also rise to global status. I wasn't a local champion again. But I didn't go to the media to announce it. A lot of you, the little you do, you go blasting. You won't hear anything about it. I describe myself in 2 ways. Number one, my public life or whatever, I'm a Black Hawk. The Black Hawk is a military equipment that can take on altitude and at the right time can always come solo. That's what the US Air Force uses. And then in my private life, I'm a submarine. You never know how much size you find in a submarine. Wait till you get inside and you find it's a town on its own. And it's called stature. So for me, building stature is better. And I will humble myself and stay on that. Many of you are just nothing. You know, Yoruba say teaching Yoruba, you know, for food. When a man's yam is fully cooked, in a taking hand cup, you eat with 10 fingers, you expose yourself to all kinds of nonsense, and you think you want to make it happen. It's not going to happen. Nobody cursed you. You are the architect of your own. This man, John Top, these were the men when I was a trainee, were already MDs. I started sitting with them in APCON, chairman council, all kinds of councils. I was on the board. I remember I was 24. When they used to come, I was just a small employee compared to these men. Today, including the likes of Udema Paul, today I can sit comfortably with them. I will not feel junior. If anything, I feel honored. I know where it took me from. He said, I know. Took me from the ship and set my feet upon that rock. And then he will then establish your going. If you don't understand it, you'll miss it. I became a CEO of Samsung. I was the first local MD Samsung had worldwide. Samsung Electronics. And I didn't tell you one story until now. The day we joined Guinness MDs used to be about 50 something. And with my mates, 11 of us at the induction, Mr. Detukasi of blessed memory, he looked at us and said, there can be only one MD at a time. That one of you someday will be MD. You know, it's between 53, 54. I said, minus me. And they all looked at me and said, you're big mouth. At the year, well. At the year, well. If you catch me for wrong, I will finish you. So I told them, say, minus me. All my guys shouted me down, said, you have come, basket mouth. They didn't call me basket mouth, they just yapped me. I didn't say anything. Wait in the room. Folks, of that 11 I showed you, I made it at 44. I said, at 45, if I'm not a CEO, then something is wrong with me, or something is wrong with where I am. God heard and confirmed 44. Samsung Electronics. And when they came, I said, I'm a big fish. They took me from Capri. And I asked, there was nothing I asked for that I didn't get. By the way, each of these jobs I didn't apply. When you build stature, they'll come looking for you. Folks, that guy asked the question. I have walked away from jobs, not once, not twice, not 3 times. I just, like they said to the lean man, rise, take up your bed and walk. Tell my boss, I'm leaving here tomorrow. He look at me and say, how? I said, just watch this space, and I'm gone. The Holy Spirit didn't tell me. I decided. I know When like the prodigal son knew, he came to himself. When you come to yourself, you know this place is no longer for you. But it depends on where you are tapping your spiritual antenna from. There are two spirits. And then I moved to L'Oreal. I was MD of L'Oreal. L'Oreal is the foremost beauty company in the world. L'Oreal, I was CEO of L'Oreal for West Africa. And most respectfully, by the grace of God, I was the most senior black man in the entire world. The day I got into L'Oreal and they asked me, the group HR, said, show me your city. So where you come from? In Africa, in Nigeria. I said, I come from Ikot. He said, Google map, and it located it. I said, go further. And he went down. And I said, that small, tiny dot, that's who's from there. I said, wow. I was thinking it would be Igbo. I said, no Igbo. I was thinking it would be Yoruba. I said, no Yoruba. I said, I'm from Akwa Ibom. He said, what? I said, it's there in the map. It is on record, and they can't erase it. That once upon a time, an Ikot Akbone man stood, not us as global president for a global company, a global corporation, have been global and not local. Many of you are local champions, foreign local government chairman. At the end of your life, you're stupid. You're very stupid. Because a bigger world than that stupidity, there should be the ones calling you. See, I don't need, do you know how many times they've asked me to come and register at the ward? My ward chairman, okay, I'll spare him. You don't know him. My ward chairman under Akpabio, I warned him. I said, do not eat with your 10 fingers. They're giving you all this money, you will cry. This year, I had to bail him out, school fees of his children. He's left. 10 fingers. These are the kind of people you are following. Anyway, in life, everybody comes to a crossroad. And that's where corporate shepherds for me. It's a divine encounter with destiny. And this is where God had called me many years ago to mentor a generation. That's why I'm here. September 2015, I took a flight to Paris. My boss was the only middleman between myself and the chairman of the company. I told you I was very senior. When I walked into his office, Jeff looked at me and said, "ID, what? We could have a call." I said, "I'm coming to see you." I flew Emirates, 14 hours to Paris. I said, "I'm leaving. I know my time. I have like 20 minutes more, the rest of it. I needed to tell you this story so that you'll understand. Yesterday ended last night. I can do it. You can. The only thing holding you, mental strength and your mind. Opportunity. You don't need to go to Harvard like Dr. Abasiaka. You will get podcasts. And you can take on any advert lecture you want on your internet or your BDJ, social media. Selfie. You become a selfie. I went to see my boss and I told him I was leaving. He said I could be joking. He said, "I did to what?" I said, "I'm going to run my company." He said, "Listen, how are you going to survive? You can't eat from there." I said, "I'm not meant to eat. Because I'm told not to worry." He said, "Now you're going biblical." I said, "That's the source. Because every seed must produce its fruit." And unknown to me, I had said that I was not going to work for anybody at the age of 50. I'd always said it. And I wasn't 50 yet. Listen, folks, I walked out of that room. I called two people. The first person I called was my wife. And I said, "Sweetie, Don." She said, "I met you." I said, "You should cool down. Hear from the man." I said, "I've heard everything." And I want to tell you something. I left at the time when the dollar was skyrocketing. I had a son in the UK. I had to pay school fees. Where was I going to get it? Go to the ant, that slugger. Consider our ways. Listen, all through, I say, what has kept me running, I say. And do you know the best place I save? I save in the Word of God, I save in His work, and I save in everything that concerns God. Including you that are earthen vessels. You are the best place for any man to invest. So, if I had done all of that, why would He abandon me? He wouldn't. So I took that guy. I called my wife and she said, it's okay. But she supported me all the way. She has. Then I called Pastor. My pastor and father in faith, Pastor Tunde back. I called him. I didn't get through. I sent him a text. Later on, he said, when he saw it, he said, what has happened again? When I see him, I'll ask him, what, is he restlessness or what? Because, see, at that level, I was changing job every 24 months. When I finish, I have an agenda. I'm here for 48 months, guys. I'll tell them 48 months, once I finish, by His grace, what's the next assignment? God provides 2-3 options. I pick one. I was always picking. I was cherry picking. I'm from Akwa Ibom. See, guys, what I'm saying to you, if I had time, and I open part of that diary and the offer for you, you will faint. That someone will come to me and say, MTN, well, look at the package, we're going to offer you 50 million. I said, I don't need it. Seriously, that was too small. They were telling me to get money of the future. I said, I want it now. It's that I have it now to invest now. I'm not waiting for the future. Yeah. So, I walked away. But I've come here to tell you that there are points of inflection. When a man finds himself with a self-defining challenge, he can only meet and exceed if he does answer these questions. And then back to what everybody has said. What are my goals? Where and what do I do? Do I hope to be in future? You must have a sense of 5 years, 10 years down. If you don't, then you are dead in the waters. You'll be a pawn on the chessboard. I love chess. That's why it was my opening. Chess, let me tell you the kind of movies I watch. Mafia type movies. And the ones where they go for robberies, bank robberies. You know why? As a chief executive, I need to hire people. When they're choosing the team for robbery, never mind, I'm not saying go for robbery. Understand where I'm going. The guy makes sure that the talent is looking for the best driver to be a drunkard, but he's probably the best driver that is. So he needs to manage his drinking. So the main guy looks the safe. The guy that opened the safe will be a loony, crazy guy, but he needs to manage it. So when I look for the talents I want to hire, they may have lots of defects. I go for them because they are diamonds in the mud. And that's what I get from watching such movies. And of course, my best all-time movie is Godfather. That has helped me in the boardroom, still helps me. I watch The Godfather. I think about The Godfather. When I sit everywhere, it's The Godfather as my frame of reference. It is. What will you do when you get there? And how will you know? How will you measure? Friends, I said this before. You are who you are as a result of choices. You are where you are as a result of choices. You will be where you will be as a result of choices. Your choices ultimately define. You've come for this conference, take it as another rice and stew. When you go home, come in as a wet sinner, leave as a dry sinner, and remain. You say, I've been baptized by what? If you don't get serious, the train has left the station. Now, two things happen. This is where you are now. That's where you're going. And how? The same way you take on a business plan as entrepreneurs. You need to be strategic. Everybody works with strategy. Say strategy. Without strategy, there can't be tactics, there can't be plan. One place I gain a lot of knowledge and strategy is the military. I'm a dogged lover of the military. I use the military tactics in everything I do. That's why I said to you, if I'm going to describe myself as a trustee of posterity, I'll tell you I'm a Black Hawk. I'm able to go 50,000 feet high, and I can come 5,000. But in my private life, I'm a submarine. You never know who I am until you come close. I won't be putting it out there. No. When you come into the submarine, you'll now see stature and you might be intimidated. I'm not intimidated by any man because the submarine never gets intimidated. The only thing you see is the mast. But let it come out. Say, whoa. If I appear in any of your gardens, you say, whoa. Do you know people forget that I'm a Calabar man? Name it. Governor, ministers, they don't remember. from Akwa Ibom. They don't. Why? Because in their hands, an Akwa Ibom man cannot do all these things. They will box you in a place and you become the box. Government will call you small and medium, you start thinking small. As a man thinking in his heart, so he is. So if you continue thinking small because you're SME, you'll be SME. When you see banker, you say, okay, I'm small. Okay. You must understand your role or place in the big picture. It's about big picture, guys. If your best dreams come when you are awake. What I saw in front of me were my uncles. No offenses to any one of them. In fact, one of my uncles, these ones will not know who, because I won't call the name. I went to do my IT in a certain place. I was working there. And I was now relieving a staff. Remember, I was a student. But because, Pastor Sam, the year before, I'd been diligent, they gave me an automatic ticket to come back to this place. When I got there, it was my uncle that was 70, and he was going to serve me tea. I had to go beg him, Uncle Don, please, I can't suffer that level of humiliation. I won't. Not that I was afraid of anything. How can my own uncle, who lived in my own father's house before he moved to his, come and serve me, and I was still a teenager? Because I was still young. And I won't tell you where. This one sitting here don't even know who. Is it my father? Is it not? But then it starts with a vision. And see, Proverbs 19 verse 8. I love it in the Message Bible. It says, if people can't see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what He reveals, they are most blessed. That's what it says in the Message Bible. So what ideas do you have? And permit me at this juncture, I want to put something in your spirit. How many of you have ever been into the labor room? Hello? Let me see your hands. Okay. Who has been? I know the mothers here are automatic candidates. The fathers here are automatic candidates. Depends on the bold ones. The fathers, I mean. But let me tell you where I'm going. At the point of conception, does a woman really know? She doesn't. Now when she conceives, she goes through a process. Give or take 9 months. In the 9th month, when time is due for delivery, what is uppermost in her mind? Hello, help me. The baby. Okay? Someone help me. Shout like Black Bartimaeus. Come on, help me. What is uppermost in her mind? Save. And? Okay, raise your hand if you are strong enough. What did you say? She will put to bed. Man. Friends, there are two things. Safety of the baby and herself, and of course safe delivery, right? But let me give you options. There are times both come out alive. At times, either come out alive. There are times none come out alive. There are options. But what is uppermost in her mind will be that. When she's in that labor room, who do you expect to be in that room with her? Hello? Hello? The doctor, the nurse, the blah, blah, blah. Do you understand that your ideas are just as good as a woman who has conception? And by the grace of God, you are looking for a day to birth those ideas. Safe landing, safe execution, and in all. Who and who will be in that room with you? You deliver that idea. That's how you understand who should be your stakeholders. When a man, what do you see? Where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years? And how do you want to get there? If you start thinking like a woman in the labor room, you then understand that in that labor room I need a doctor, I need a nurse, I probably will need a surgeon, because antenatal to know if you need a bridge or not. Fine. You then know the classes of friends to follow. the classes of acquaintances, allies, and advocates that you need. Many of you are going into business now, or gone. You just go blind. Number one, you don't see. Number two, you are lame. Number three, you are deaf. You're walking like a corpse. There's only a corpse that has all the varieties of things. The only thing they don't have is, and you expect to have life. I know it's okay to, but don't be the foolish one that you use as an example. Why must you be you? There must be an example. So you need sight. That vision is important, and it's so important. And I'm going to give you some ingredients, and this is where the rubber begins to hit the road. If you're not purposeful, the tendency is for you to run amok. So these are the ingredients. You need focus. These cameras are looking at me now. That lady, she can afford to zoom in, zoom out. It's called focus. If it's not clear, don't take the plunge. There's determination. Now the young man that asked about passion. Passion is like electricity. It electrocutes, also electrifies. You can't afford to take it from the extreme. It has to be something you love doing. Talent, competence, this is what I love, folks, personal mastery. Volunteerism is the key to getting into mastery because you will dine with the masters. When you go and dine with the masters, you will become a master. Folks, I'd lie not to you. One of the things I did so well was to volunteer all the time. You see, you don't know you. Call him my big brother. Bounce things off him. You think that, I've been MD, I've been chairman, I've been this, all these multinationals, those things can enter your head. You know, they enter my own because they are history. And I don't look back because I'm not loved. When I leave any other organization I work, I don't look back. And I always tell Lord, if you need me, follow me as I follow Christ. In all of this, character. Some of you are not bankable. They just test you with a little thing, you fail. I have my manager that has been with me for 4 years now. You can ask her. Not one time. I mean, we just dedicated our office on Saturday. And I said to everyone that came there, I said, diligence is such that you just look at it and you can entrust someone all the resources and say, you have access. I don't have to check. If she tells me it's 1 naira, I don't even check. And again, I look at God giving me a wonderful wife as a spouse. I tell you, if I have 1 billion naira today, I'll give everything to my wife and just hold 1 million. If I come back 10 years time, it will be there. A lot of you jump into all kinds of relationships. I love you, I love you, I love you. No. Oh, wow. Character. If your spouse does not buy into your vision, you're dead. Character. Don't marry wrongly. And if you're already in it, couple. And you go back and ask the Holy Spirit to direct you. But closely knit with character is diligence. What does it take for a man to be diligent? The first thing is, you know you are nothing and is everything. And you trust the Holy Spirit to teach you. It brings understanding to you. But diligence can be very tough. Because you can be diligent in the wrong things. The armed robber is diligent. A lot of politicians are diligent. Highly diligent. Have you not seen? You know, I always ask questions. And even making my friend, I don't understand why governors put their pictures on every project. Is it their project? Is it their money? And they commission, and they have commissioners. So why do I listen? I was MD of I was running a business where Pastor Simon had 2 homes. No, I had 1 home, and the other was an office. I had a flat in Ghana. I spent 1/3 of my time in Ghana to cover the rest of West Africa. Nigeria was a standalone. And not one time, I had 2 boards. I was running 3 boards, 3 different boards. Not one time would you have me stand in front. No, 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 no. I always tell my guys, you go. I will lead from within. I'll lead from the back. I mean, they know. Leadership sometimes is not so much as being in front. I prefer let my guys be the ones you see. Not because I'm afraid, but I want the next generation that will go forward. And so that I can rise. Every position I get into, I start looking for a successor. The minute I take a job, I look for a successor. The other day I was saying to Esther in front of everyone, I said, now you're a manager, I'm trusting God that you become a this company. And ultimately, chase me out. Take this same company that I'm running together with you, chase me out, and I'll go do something else. So why should I be afraid? And every second you see my face in the poster, Mr. I. If not so, if you don't know me day, if I start telling you the things that I've done, you'll be shocked. From Samsung, all the things you're carrying, all the S and Galaxy Note, I launched up to Note 4. But did you see me? Sparingly, I put them forward. I brought Banky W, all of them. Every single person I can tell you, I push them forward and I stay behind. Today I can tell you the story of any of those things. It's not necessary. Not. It's only a man that is not confident in himself that wants to pick picture everywhere. And that's what our politicians do everywhere. A day I become governor, which I don't, I like to be his own kind of governor. Or I'm already a governor, I don't need any title. I mean, I've carried president, I've carried chairman. What do we need again? So as governor, I want to be like this governor. Not the one you people who come and be begging you for votes. Why? I don't want that. I'm serious. I don't want an elective office. And the day you ask me to come, you'll be the one to pay yourselves. All of you are waiting there for us. I'm serious. Trust me. Mark today very well. If you ever see me come forward that I want to serve you, I'm not going to spend 1 penny of my money to come and tell you to come and serve you. Why? Why? They put in all that money and they come and recoup it. Investment, that you see that. What are the enablers? And this is what brings the action to happen. Number one is attitude. It's the iceberg. A lot of things that happen when you know an iceberg. Underneath is attitude, on top is knowledge and skills. See, the Titanic went down because of that big piece. Attitude is everything. Many of you have very lousy attitude. Starting from one photographer, I didn't know him from other. You started taking photographs, I didn't send it. And the man had been following me, I said, okay, why are you following me? Now, Esther is saying I shouldn't use him as an example. It means him sometimes. Sometimes. They are smarter, the Yoruba boys are smarter, and we are sometimes it looks, a Yoruba boy would have done that. What would have done? This one came boldly and see a picture. I said, I sent you. He came the second time. I said, how much? He said 250. I said, leave us now 100 naira. You won't come collect it. I go back. Now he looked me. I thought I said, I don't be governor. Now governor prize with that one. But I was saying all of that just to let him get the message. And he had the audacity to come and meet me inside here. Listen, why am I saying so? We don't think most times. And that brings me, because we don't think, we don't even remember God exists. Because if you look around you and say, why am I where I am? You remember that it's possible that I put something first. Materialism makes I don't know why, everything out of our brain. Why are you guys materialistic? Let me tell you something. This one, I'm giving you free. I took my father's car and I repaired it. When my colleague saw it, he said only Jesus Christ can bring this car to life. He was with the mechanic more than he was with me. So he was coming to me for servicing and he was going to the mechanic. But I stood firm. All my mates bought cars, I didn't buy. My wife was pregnant with her first son. And she would fuel filter. She will take out the blue fuel. That was my muka muka. But I need not tell you that there is no series of Mercedes that I've not had. Yeah. From G-Wagon, GL450 to E300, E240 to V-Boot. I have entered, and when I finish, I'm tired. I said, boy, you go back. I'll go and buy the next one. That time will come. Don't be in a hurry. It will come. Don't be in a hurry. I don't know what car I want to drive, but one thing I know, I'm serious, because I've driven everything under the sun. And don't look at me, oh. Very weird. I love cars. I love watches. Everybody get everything you like. Either I don't want here, man. Go on. What do you like? You like to follow? Or you're not ready to pay the price of followership? Follow the right people. Don't follow those movie stars. They're acting. God is presenting before you life and death. Choose life that you may live. When the stick is crooked, what you do is put the straight one beside it. Start looking for straight men. Start looking for real men and women. Stop following those ones that are leading you astray. They are not offering everything. Any man comes to you, including your pastor, asking, what is your occupation? Because I didn't read anywhere in the Bible about full-time ministry. All of you just go and they man of God, one of come, when he himself has not been prayed for. The second point, embrace personal development. That's where I'm going. Develop yourself. Invest in yourselves. I'll give you, if you are earning 100 every year, take out 10%, 20% maximum. Train yourself. That's what I did. Whatever amount of money they pay me gross, I take 20% out, I pay my tithe, and I live on 70. But I take 20 to invest in myself, starting from Unicross. I studied economics. I had the richest library in my department. It was £1, and I used to eat in Lukotu without. Without. Now come and meet me and tell me to eat without. Okay. There is no restaurant in the world I cannot eat today, including the tallest and the best in Dubai. Guys, I'm not saying this, I'm just still using it to charge you up. I took my wife, whose wedding anniversary was last year or 2 years ago, and we happened to be in Europe. Then I just called my son. I said, man, you know what? I need to give your mom a surprise. I don't know what to do again. Just said that, go to this hotel for a spa. We got there, they had done the arrangement. Someone knew, I can't remember the hotel now, but very expensive. And we had 2 attendants. We got in there for 4 hours, we were spoiled. We had dinner, had lunch, we had dinner, we had the sauna, just my wife and I, we were just enjoying life. When we came out, madam, the foolish attendant, very foolish lady, just carried the people. I said, "Cha, don't give me this money now." She said, "What? You have told me I will buy 10 boxes back to Nigeria." I said, "There are times you don't need boxes." And she now told my son, he said, "You knew about this?" He said, "She saw the bill." I said, "It's an error, give it to her." And you know, you don't think at the door like this. That's the way you get. But it was good. You get to the point where you can afford to get into a store and buy a watch for $10,000. Not, I'm telling you, it will come. It will come. Don't be in a hurry. Invest in yourself and be true to yourself. Be authentic. Be real. Be real. Your ideas can only become action if you are real. And then you need emotional intelligence. Yeah. The World Economic Forum has rated emotional intelligence as one of the top 10 skills for year 20. Go and Google it, I won't give you number. And if you don't have this, and if you have this, boy, happy are you. Go and invest yourself and let your mentors, if they don't have, read. You'll understand it. Or God will send you a Philip. Understanding what thou readest, say I don't. What is good judgment? You start now. When those guys come, a good judgment is a balance between the head and the heart. Practice it. When they come to you, for you to land your ideas, say to somebody and they ask you, that didn't clear, or what? Be bold enough to make these declarations. Let me tell you something. A lot of our politicians are not prepared for their offices. They are just scattered. They are scattered here, scattered everywhere. And you are part of their scattering. A lot of them lack good judgment and they will use you as a sounding board. And you are falling for it. I'm a governor. I'm already a governor. I'm associated. I have a governor in the house. I don't need to be president. I'm a president. I don't need to be senator. I'm already in the Senate. What does Senate mean? Look at the Bible. Elders. And some of you are the elders in your homes. And you are looking, when they come, distinguished too. They are extinguished. Most of them are extinguished because they are not there to light your candle or theirs. And yet, Akwa Ibom, it pains me as an indigenous of this state. I'm telling you, and I lie not, that young men and women will get themselves bastardized by people who have no direction of where they're going. And you guys waste your time, believe in them. There's a life better than that. Just step into a different realm and think differently. I'm waiting to see those of you that are ready to say, I'm ready. Stop this nonsense. Because they have nothing to offer. 8 years after you'll be standing, you'll be down. They start looking for the next position. 8 years maximum. The best they can do is run to Senate. After a while, we're going to block. Because come 2019, I will lead one of the vanguard that will say nobody, no governor should go back to the Senate. Why? None. We continue to allow all of this happen. Good judgment. But you must be able to manage setbacks. Every building, every architect will tell you there's a setback. You need some space. God in mercy understands why he will ask you to go through hills and valleys. He doesn't want another Lucifer. My time is up. I can't put you through this exercise. But you see these guys, Whoopi Goldberg. You can see, who is this? So it's going to be my test. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Tom Cruise? Who is this?
Tom Cruise, okay.
Huh?
Dwayne White.
Now, what do you think that they have? They all have pictures here. It's a condition.
Picture, please.
Yes. This guys, who's this? Who's that? You know what they have? All of them in common? Speech defect. So tell me, what exactly is holding you back? These guys are stars in their right. And the things that will not allow them to function is holding them. But they rose above it. Speech defects, including
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah, thank you.
Folks,
a wonderful guy.
All I'm asking you to have a positive attitude to change. All I'm asking you is to find your stakeholders. It's not always what you know, but who you know. All I'm asking is build a solid network. And I'm going to land with this last one. Networking requires planning. And I'm leaving you with 3 A's. Acquaintances, allies, and advocates. Many of you sit with acquaintances who waste your time. You need to buy a Ashwebi. They'll be upset if you don't another their wedding. You think like your kid and king, and that's why you can't rise. You need allies. David had an ally. And when the time came for Solomon to build the temple, he was an ally. David had an advocate. And if you don't know who, one advocate that God gave to us, Jesus himself. And he said, that is my beloved son. But they've turned it around now to call it Godfatherism. And some of you, they are not. Don't let your mentor become your tormentor. Most of them are tormentors. If you test it and you want to try it, any of those men that say that they are your advocates or mentors, put them on the price of a pedestal. They weigh nothing in gold, silver, or bronze. the day they are willing to invest their lives finally and lay their lives for you, like David did with Saul, then you know there's a relationship. Now with David, with Jonathan. That's all I have for you. For you to turn that page. I trust God. I truly trust God that this group will not find, you will not find any regret coming for this conference, because your ears, your eyes, and your heart will pop up, and then you will become those ones that will go out. Every one of the 10 that will hold the sketch of the Jew will come from you. God bless you.
Hello, have we been inspired? Are you sure?
Yep.
Then that hand was too weak if we are that inspired. Wow, I am so inspired, Mr. Ina. Thank you so much. And I believe all the youth inside this house appreciate you. Thank you. And having concluded that, before we go on to the next thing, I just want to put this out to all the youths. Please, let's get engaged on our Facebook page, The Gathering. Let's talk about what we're doing here, and follow us on Twitter at The Gathering _NG, and also on Instagram. So let's make noise about it and let the other states know that Akwa Ibom youths are ready to move on. Okay? And having said that, we are going to go into the discussion session right now, and we would invite the following speakers to come up and do that for us. I will invite Dr. Abasiaka to come back up. Let's put our hands together for him. I will also invite Mrs. Ndifrek Gomina, the Deputy Manager, Zenith Bank, one of our partners. I'll also invite the GM Inspiration FM, Mr. Samuel Akpan, one of our partners also. And to get the best out of Pastor Brendan Gray before he goes back tomorrow, I will invite him to come back up and join the discussion session for us. So at this point, I'll just hand over to the moderator, who is Dr. Abasiaka, to take over from me.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. You all got the stage? Thank you. The last presentation has been one of the things that we expect from the this kind of meeting. Ignite is something that is taking a new direction. I think from this moment, tomorrow will be more than what we're seeing today. My brother, my friend, has given a laudable direction to the youths. We've listened, although I came in late, I was in the studio, but then all that we have listened to in this short time, for about 40 minutes, we've had him discussing with us about attitude. I want us to focus on about 3 things right now to discuss, so that because of our time, we look at attitude, number one. Then we also look at managing ourselves. It's given some elaborate discussions on self-management. And then particularly when it has to do with, he uses the word dislocated mentorship. Mentors that are no more mentors but tormentors. I think that is a very good way to start, place to start. Let's start from there. I wouldn't know all the names, but let me just start from the ladies first. You've heard the speaker. The issues of the youth choosing a mentor, it's a big problem today. Very big problem, particularly in this climate. You heard the speaker made mention of government players, politicians, creating a platform that they have slaves as mentees. And then he uses the word tormentors. The youth wouldn't need to go close to those set of people. What would be your direction? What would be your word that would guide the youth, particularly on that word, coming from that word tormentors instead of mentors? Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. For me, a key fulcrum around which everything else we're doing here revolves is attitude. I think from what the speaker has said so far, his life story which we have heard, I pick an attitude of humility. It takes a leader to be humble enough to want to project others. Now, we who are mentees, we who want to be mentored, do we have the right attitude to be able to stoop and learn? It's very key. In picking a mentor, you need to look at the attitude. Does this person's vision align with what you are looking at? Does it align with your passion? Does it align with your goals? We had a speaker here, the CEO of the bank, who said he wasn't comfortable with a colleague who was very willing to bribe and get his way around. Do you want to be mentored by someone who is very willing to always give out bribe, who wants the easy way out? Or do we have a mindset that we need to learn from the best? I think the issue of picking a mentor actually starts with us. Our attitude as people who want to learn, as youths, we need to have the right mindset and the right attitude in finding and locating the right mentors. And please, when we are picked, when we become mentors, it takes sacrifice. It is about giving back and not exploiting, like the facilitator had said. It's not about taking out from that person. It's all about sacrifice. And I think it will take the right attitude for us to be able to pick a mentor. Thank you.
We still will deal with attitude because I think the bottom line of that presentation from start to finish had to do with attitude, change, right? You look at him, you know, if we spread our profiles, you know, display our profiles here, some people will faint, right? But you see, we've discussed about humility. There's something that is key that he drove in. It is diligence. Another word there is diligence. Now, you see, the Bible says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall not stand before men. He shall stand before kings." Pastor, contributing to that which the facilitator has spoken about diligence. Our youths here, many of them are not diligent, because if you look at the word, you look at that word, I want you to go around that word diligence, so that our youth here, many of them that we sit here today, many of them there might be situations that make them redundant. And so there's carelessness in their part. They upload every day to find business development. But they're not done yet because something is lacking, that diligence. Please just give us let the youth hear about this word diligence. Go around that word with emphasis.
First of all, our speaker began by saying something with regards to having lunch and being lunched. Sir, I've been lunched. You have given me so much to chew on. Thank you. Thank you. It was fabulous. You know, there's a scripture that I really hold dear to, and it says that the fool sleepeth while it is yet harvest time. And there's the element of being diligent. I shared this in Pastor AK's church, that the dream is a gift from God, but the hustle, it takes work. And we can dream big, but we've got to start small, and we've got to be diligent about our small steps. Even with regards to a mentor, there have been many mentors that I've had, which I have never met, in person, but I was diligent enough to continue to get my hands on whatever they put in book form or whatever I heard on a podcast, whatever opportunity. I just fed myself. I'll share one situation I had. You were talking about tour mentors and versus a mentor. It's very difficult when you've had a father in the faith that you no longer agree with in philosophy. And it felt like we were hitting a ceiling. And it was a very painstaking process, heart-wrenching, to say, how do I move from this relationship into a new relationship where there was a pastor that was standing right in front of me that I had even asked. I had an Elijah moment. I asked him if he would serve us as a presbyter and as a father, and he turned us down kind of in a nice way. And I had the Elisha moment. Do you want the exit ramp? He continued to ask Elisha, I'm going on here, but you can stay here. And Elisha said, oh no, I'm going to follow you. And I tell you what, that persistence paid off, and that man has been such a well to our ministry. So I just encourage you, don't give up, don't quit, be diligent. It will pay off.
Thank you. When I was listening to the facilitator, there's something that came to me about governance in Nigeria, particularly in our state. Big government promising much, but undermining the responsibility of the youth. So, and he said followership. And so, followership is about a commanded leadership, strong leadership. All right? These are youths. These guys that are listening have businesses. Many of them have businesses, and many of them are also seeking windows to having new businesses. But the big government, with the big promises, giving them a dislocated place, there's no responsibility. They don't understand. How would you make these guys? Because listening to the speaker, how would you make these guys come to a place of embrace? That there is going to be a lot coming out of this program, Ignite, outside the big government promises.
All right, thank you, the chairman of the session. First and foremost, I want to say that I have been more than inspired. That's the truth. I'm a media man. I've always been a media man. I did a little marketing before now, but then all through his lecture, let me put it that way now, I was caught, raptured. That's the best word I can use, Sorry, rapture has not landed.
I'm sure that time I
Alright, sorry, there's no rapture yet, so we are not expecting it. One thing
Right, let's start.
sorry about that. One thing that I learned clearly this afternoon is that everything relies on choices, your choice. And when you talk about followership, you know, I wonder at times somebody will leave his house, leave everything that is supposed to be in the house, and follow a politician just because of a cup of gari, something that is highly insignificant. That's the truth. That's the way I see it. I've always wondered. You mentioned that most politicians, like, it was as if it was also always been in my mind. But that's always been in my mind. Any state I go to, I take time to look at the state capital. You see very big billboards of governors, the faces of governors. Every street you enter, you see the billboard of the governor, you know, heralding himself. And you look around the state, honestly, you don't find anything worthwhile. And like I said, as a journalist, which I've been for over 20 years now, I feel so bad for our nation, honestly. I feel so bad when I see things not being put in proper perspective. And the thing goes back to our youth. When you say, I have a political leader, what does that political leader have for you? That's the question. And most times, they only need you when election comes, help them carry billboards, place posters, and at the end of the day, to give you peanuts. Some to extreme cases, carry guns, go and, you know, cause havoc at polling units and all the stuff. And you say you have leaders. That's not how to be a follower. If I cannot benefit anything from my mentor or my leader, then of course his business being his follower. That's how I see it. And when people talk, I wonder most times when people talk that I've done this, I've done that for you, and I'm going to do this, that. And at the end of the day, you get to see nothing. That's the truth. So my advice, my admonition to us this afternoon is that when we want to, just like you said, you want a mentor or a tormentor. The moment you look at somebody that is not impacting positively into your life, then honestly you are wasting your time around the person. I tell people, don't come to me, don't come to my house to come and beg me for money. Tell me the kind of idea. That's why I work in Inspiration FM here, because I'm the general manager. A lot of youth come up with fantastic projects, and they come and tell you, I need money for this, I need money for that. I say, no, it's not about money. You have a project, you have a song, for instance. You say, I don't have money to promote this song. That's why I'm not blown, like we used to say. But now, I'm not blown because nobody wants to support me financially so that I can. And I tell them, once your job is good, and you know the right places to go to, of course you will blow. And that's why I tell them in Inspiration FM, we try to encourage youth generally. If you have a project, because we're a family station, you have a project, you have a dream, come, let's talk about it. And of course, give you mentorship. That's exactly what we are doing. So when you have somebody you are following and you are not benefiting positively for, I don't think it is necessary in the first instance. Just drop that idea. God bless us all.
This session, with what we have listened to at this moment, with what we have listened to, I believe the youth seated here have now come to the realization that time has come for a change. Like the last slide in that presentation, change ahead. And they are going to navigate that change. They're going to build up the pathways to that change. They are going to themselves, as what we have heard, from what we have heard, we're going to build those bridges that is going to take us to that destination. The deliverables are here. Tomorrow we're going to have another session. Now, I think we're going to have the question. Are we having the questions? Moderator, please, before the question comes, I just want these youths to get themselves ready. We have few people that are going to ask questions, and so we will be ready for those questions. Thank you so very much.
Please, let's give a panel of discussants a round of applause. Please, let's come alive. Let's bring this auditorium alive again. Thank you very much. Distinguished sons of Akwa Ibom State and prospective gurus, entrepreneurial gurus in the nearest future. Can I get another shout from you guys? Yes, that's the noise we're looking for. We have to be alive in the house. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, quickly now, so for the purposes of time, we need to get things done clinically. So quickly, we will be taking a question of 4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. I've seen a hand lifted already in the crowd. Show by indication, and you will make your way to the right-hand side of my standing position. Please be as fast as you can. Thank you. The first, if you have asked a question before in the previous sessions, please don't go for another question. Thank you. Give others opportunity. Thank you very much. Let's get your thoughts shared in between as well. Introduce yourself and quickly go straight to the question and let the question be absolutely straight to the point. Thank you very much. Please, we need a microphone for them.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Udemifio. First of all, I want to thank God for this program. It's been a blessing to me. Thank you, sir. I want to ask a question. It's my life experience. Sorry, everyone.
Please go straight.
As a passionate photographer, there was a time in my life I needed a passionate mentor who is also a photographer. So I followed him for years, and he never responded to me. At some point, he told me if he must mentor me, I have to pay a sum of 50K to him, which I did. I went to him, he sat me down, and he talked to me for just 3 hours. My experience was a different thing. It opened me up. So after that, coming back, I paid my way to Lagos. Coming back, I started doing what he told me to start doing, and it was working for me. So I love learning so much. So since then I've been trying to reach him. Please, can we have maybe 3 times meeting in a year? He was like, I'm done with you. And
please, what's your question? Go straight to the question.
The question is, should I still follow him while he's not giving me a room again?
The point has been made. Please, the next person.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Don.
Audience, please.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Don Imen. And my question goes like this: what do I do? And please let me explain what the question really means. But before I go forward, I thank all the conveners and supporters of this program. God bless all of you. You guys have tried. And what do I do? Now, if I will consider what I've been saying in this auditorium, I've learned 60% of it, and 40% is just a new thing to me. but here I am still attending seminars, nowhere.
Please go straight to your question.
Now, I've asked the question already, what do I do? Now, I'm trying to clarify that question. I've learned 60% of it, and here I am. What do I do?
Your question is, when will you ever be filled enough empowerment for you to go to work and actualize your dreams?
Sure.
All right, thank you very much. The next person, thank you. Please, audience, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Okolio Bianuju, and my question is about the mentorship thing. He said, the pastor there said that he has some mentors that he has never actually had a one-on-one conversation or contact with. I don't think you can actually have a mentor. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think you can have a mentor that you haven't had one-on-one conversation with. That's a wrong.
That was the big lie.
I think that's the wrong. And then my question is, how can
Audience, order, please. Please, let's maintain decorum,
how can we
please.
just meet go, like for example, Mr. Adam, how can I just go and meet him and say, can you be my mentor? He doesn't know me. Everybody that all the speakers have been talking about having a mentor. So I want to know how we can actually work up with someone who doesn't know.
Alright, she's interested in knowing how we can have mentors on proxy. Alright, quite distant mentor. Please, the next person.
My name is Israel Kaite. My question is, considering a lot of youth following fake political leaders that are leading them to do something else, how do we get to the root to let all the youth understand themselves and have self-awareness not to follow these political leaders?
Thank you very much. Your point has been taken. Alright, we'll be heading straight back to the panel of discussants made by very spiritual individuals. Audience, please. Audience, please. Please, can we hear ourselves? Thank you very much. But just a quick reminder, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that you can join this conversation online by logging into with your smartphone on Instagram. The conversation continues at TheGathering_NG. Of course, we have other platforms including Twitter as well as Facebook, all of them with the username The Gathering. Please join us, whether you are listening to us or tuning in on your television through the services of Qui-Gon Broadcasting Corporation. Of course, the governor is the event in charge and the progenitor himself absolutely grateful to the services of the station. All right, so back now, we're turning our attention to the panelists. And of course, the panel of discussants being led by indefatigable Dr. Abasiakan, who is the moderator. Please, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. 4 questions have been raised here. Number 1 is the guy that asked the question pay for mentorship. Should he continue to follow that mentor? Number 2, the young guy keeps attending seminars. He's known 60%. Here he got 40%. Without hello. All right. He got 40% from here without realization of his dreams. Number 3. She asked this very peculiar question. Mentorship from afar. All right? She doesn't believe in that. Maybe she mistakes that for a role model. But the truth is, we need a mentor, whether from afar or near. Number 4. How did they come? How did this guy come to self-realization? Because he's been dislocated completely by the big government people. So followership continues to into error, and yet there's no self-realization. So how do we come out of it? Let me start with the general manager. This is very peculiar. I think you have a little knowledge about this, particularly when it has to do with this paid mentorship. Let's discuss that.
Okay. He said he had to pay for the mentorship. In the first instance, when you pay, you're actually paying for the service. That's how I see it. That's not mentorship at all. If you pay somebody, if you want me to mentor you, there is no way I will charge you money. Because to my own satisfaction and advantage, of course, that tomorrow I see you grow and grow beyond me. When you start paying somebody for a particular service, then that's why the man told you, well, that's all. It's ended with you. So you need to find a true mentor, somebody whom you can trust in, and of course, who also take time to take you through all the various processes of things you need to know. And some of us, when we are growing up, I think when I was in primary school, it started occurring to me right from the primary school that I'm going to be in the media. Why? Because at that point in time, when we go out in the school and I see somebody trying to oppress another person, you see me standing in for the person automatically, without even knowing the person from anywhere. And just at that point in time, when we entered Form 1 in secondary school, then back then in Lagos, you see me with transistor radio. And my father kept on wondering, why are you going around with transistor radio? I never knew anything about mass communication then. But then we used to see the newscasters, the Senator Orwell Browns, the John Momos and the rest on news. And I kept on saying, one day, I'll be like these people. That's my own dream. I was working towards it unconsciously, though. So when you talk about payment, I never met any of those role models now, according to my sister Jen. I never met any of those role models while I was growing up. But I saw them on daily basis. I listened to them on daily basis on radio and see them on TV. And I kept saying, one day, I will be like them.
Thank you so very much, sir. Madam, in 1 minute, I want you to address this issue of we have someone who continuously gets himself involved in seminars and all of that, but yet there's no realization of benefit. Let's deal with that in 1 minute.
My take on that, the Reverend gentleman had already told us, God gives the dream and diligence brings out the results. We need to confirm what it is you have a passion for, because you can only spend your life on something that you love. You need to check what your passion is and then take it from there. And from your dream, you can definitely find something to do. So that's where to start.
Pastor, in 1 minute, I want you to address this issue. Mentorship from afar. From a distance, not close mentorship. Mentorship from a distance. And you can make it holistically. Deal with the word mentor. Thank you.
Well, I think it's a good question because I know you're thinking, so I appreciate that. What I'm trying to do when I say I have received mentors that I've never met before is to get you to think outside of the box, right? To break the paradigm that, you know, there's a lot of investment in order to have a role model that you meet with face to face. Sometimes it will cost you money. It is cheaper, if there's anybody here that likes, you know, to gain wisdom, it is cheaper if you would listen to them, if you would read their books, you know, it will only cost you so much. So I'm just trying to encourage you that you want to have multiple streams of influence into your life. It is not good to just have one influential voice with regards to the direction of your life, the direction of your business. You want to glean from here a little, there a little. It is important to have a mentor. It's important to have a pastor. I'm not saying that. But I encourage you to get multiple streams of influence into your life.
Thank you so very much, Pastor. You can do better than that. Put your hands together for Pastor. Now the lead speaker will get ready to wrap it up for all of us here. Thank you so very much, sir. Please.
Please let's encourage our lead speaker with another round of applause as we prepare to wrap this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's quite interesting that someone, who's that young man? Well, listen, if you're going to spend 1 hour with me, you'll pay. All right? I told you guys I should stop being local champions. In the world, there's what we call executive coaching. I'm an executive coach. You can't come waste my time speaking gibberish, and when you don't have something to say, I won't waste my time with you. So, hear me and hear me well. If you ever have the chance to be coached by an executive, in the US, my colleagues charge as much as $3,000 in an hour, the sum. I have colleagues of mine who were senior colleagues in Coca-Cola today. They're running some of the outfits. They charge somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 an hour. You must be damn sure of what you want to say and go straight to the point. And that brings me to the part where you need to invest where your heart is. A lot of us do not have hearts. We've given them to our lovers. A lot of us have hearts. They have been blown away by the wind. But I want to leave you with something, and it's to charge you. There's a man called Edward de Bono. Edward de Bono, Edward as in Edward, D-E-B-O-N-O. I'll leave you with that. It talks about 6 hearts thinking. There's the red, yellow, green, blue, white, and the black heart. At any point in time, each and every one of you, go and study Edward de Bono. You'll find that you need a certain type of heart at different times. And that is the secret to situational leadership. When you are accosted by any situation, you might be wearing your red heart, which means you need to kill something. You might be wearing your white heart, which means you need to be neutral. And you could be wearing your green heart simply because you're looking for growth. It all depends on the situation. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and that's not the way to lead life. But I trust God that He will fulfill that which He desires of you. And there's a form that the prodigal son will always come back. But I trust God that you will come to yourself. And you need to come to yourself now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe that deserves another round of applause. A thunderous round of applause. Thank you. All right, that was Mr. Idorian Enam, who was the lead speaker for this session, of course, the keynote address session. And that has been it. Thank you very much, panelists, led by Dr. Emmanuel Amasiakan, of course, the general manager of Inspiration FM, and the man who we admire him a lot for is eloquence, and the deputy director of Zenith Bank in Ekiti. Thank you very much for doing us this good and proud as well. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, so much is to be talked about. I'm quite sure this is one of such conferences where many generations will talk about it for a long time to come. The knowledge obtained here, I bet you, is transcendental. It will go down in history as one of the biggest and cardinal points of very many of us seated here. In the nearest future, when we all become champions in our various rights and in our various professions, I'm quite sure we will be quick in making reference to the fact that a man saw tomorrow, and of course, it laid the template for us today. We have had a springboard here today laid, and many of us will certainly live through it into the limelight of national and international recognition. And of course, subsequently too, we have been provided with wheels. It is now the steering's in our hands for us to ride into prominence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if you've been well informed today and you're proud that you're here, but put your hands together for yourself for the patience to sit here. Thank you. All right, up next, we will be talking investment. Another very intriguing side of commerce. And one man who is a genius in investment here in this side of the world is the present governor of Akwa Ibom State, the fourth civilian governor of the state, who assumed office in 2015. And ever since that time, he has championed and redefined investment in this side of the world. Today, we will try to align our thoughts and our action towards that, so that in the nearest future, we will have more investment experts. But of course, Akwa Ibom too will become a beehive and a hub for investors in general. At this juncture, please, permit me to gladly invite personnel from the Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation, who of course today will be talking on business advisory for young entrepreneurs who are looking to make ends meet, and of course a name for themselves in the world in the nearest future. At this point, we have so many of them joining us, and of course we have representative for the general manager of that sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, due to exigencies of duty of being the general manager, of course, of the Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation, he has not been able to make it here, but he has sent a representative. I'm talking about Dr. Elijah Akpan, who is executive chairman of Akipo Board, who is inadvertently absent due to exigencies of duty, and is ably represented by a man who is so blessed in oratory, and he will be taking us through the length and breadth and the rigors of becoming a prospective entrepreneur, especially as an investor. So at this juncture, permit me to invite the representative of the general manager and the director executive chairman of Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation, Mr. Emmanuel C. Akpan, who is also a fellow of the Chartered of Institute of Accountants in the state. But for now, yeah. He will be using the PowerPoint to help us learn the ropes. All right, also joining him for the presentation as well, or the person that accompanied him here, I have to recognize him because courtesy demands so, is Mr. Jacob Ikpe. Please, sir, you will be presenting from the table. Okay, that's the screen. And then you will use the prompter to guide yourself, and you stand on the platform so that you can get the screen better because of the intensity of the All right, so also joining him and accompanying him here is his colleague, Mr. Jacob Ikpe. Is an entrepreneurship and business development expert. Of course, also a chief investment officer of the investment corporation. But yeah, I'm here going on more, please. Gentlemen, don't be tired of clapping, because in the next 2 years we will also be standing here and people will clap for you. Mom, don't be tired of clapping. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of factories here while we're still preparing for the teleprompter to, or rather please, for the screen to come alive and for him to put himself together. We have a couple of industries here in the state for the benefit of those who may be visitors in the state currently and are joining us via the services of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, AKBC TV services. At this juncture, we have the syringe and metering factory, and of course, we have that factory will give us the ability for us not to pay very funny bills any longer. So at this point, I will hand over to the representative of the executive chairman of AKIPCO, who is Mr. Emmanuel C. Akpan, to take us through the ropes of investment. Thank you very much. Please let's encourage him with a round of applause once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel so delighted to see this group of young men attending a workshop
at Ignite 2017. It's incredible. That means that so many of us are willing to become entrepreneurs. Want to be like him. Some people want to be like him. That's why we have to be mentored. And I listened carefully when they were talking about mentorship. And most of you may think that it's not important. I was mentored by a woman. And today, I don't know anything that will make me forget that woman's life. Okay. She's 1 in 1,000. But mention her name. And so when you hear mentorship, it carries responsibility and accountability. And so, but the issue is that, are you ready to be accountable? Are you ready to listen? Are you ready to be submissive? Are you ready to follow those who through faith and patience inherit the promise?
This one.
It carries a lot of responsibility. I don't want to say praise the Lord.
You are free.
So let me start by thanking the organizers of this program, Honorable Governor, Chief Executive. Thank you so much, sir. I feel so delighted to be part of this program. I want to believe that it's going to be a yearly program. I don't want to say hallelujah. I want to believe it's going to be a yearly program so that we can share ideas, we can face with each other for greater tomorrow. And so, we are about to start. And so this is a presentation, like one. This presentation on COP's business advisory. You can say business advisory service or business advisory role. But we are taking precisely what we found in the program. And so we have presentation on Archicop's business advisory for youth at Ignite 2017 here in this oil city of Eket and of course in this hotel. And so the introduction, I said let me start by congratulating this reputable group of companies for the initiative of hosting this forum at Ignite 2017. I've been from an annual conference, and of course, as fundamental as the presentation of this topic is, it's important that we share with you on important information about the state. I'm sure most of you be coming from, we know that most of you are coming from Sokoto, Maiduguri, and all this part of the world, and that you need to know some information, you need to give information about areas in the state, about the economy of the state, and others. Next. And so, such information includes the 5-point agenda of the present administration for the economy. Are we together?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Are we tired? Democracy. Great entrepreneurs. Great entrepreneurs. What's the problem? We are not hearing. What challenge? So what's the problem? Please listen. Let's listen. All right, we are not going to spend time. It's just for you to have information. No information is is useless. Listen to the information. It could be something that you may leverage upon in the course. We are not just showing you pictures. We are showing you significant areas that can leverage on. I'll tell you one thing. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the economy, unique location, prime, conducive investment climate, and so on. Let's go to the next slide. All right, we have, the government has a 5-point agenda that has to do with wealth creation, political inclusion, and so on. Let's go ahead. And so you have this moral transformation, Dakada. The governor is emphasizing on Dakada. Dakada is a moral transformation and spiritual faith campaign. And what is it? The governor is telling you that this is the time that we have to do something differently. Wake up from the point of your spiritual slumber. Wake up from the point of your where you were and think in a different way. That things are no longer in that perspective that we're thinking. So this is a wake-up call. It is not for nothing. So rise up as a man. Rise up as a lady. Rise up to the call of the destiny. Next slide. All right, economy. I'm sure you know so much about the economy. The economy is, we have Africa and so on. Let's go ahead to the next slide. I hope that is okay. All right, prime destination. This is South-South, and there are so many other things that you need to know. The South-South zone is the more or less the economic block of the state. Let's go to the next slide. Prime destination. All these are also information from the zone. Let's go ahead to the next slide. Conducive investment climate. Enterprising, warm, investor friendly, and very accommodating. Right? And of course, you have low crime rate in the state, or not. That's good. Infrastructure. All right. Here you have.
Gentlemen, let's have one house, please. Let's have one house.
You have modern infrastructure. So many things. You have company, and of course, this is home for multinationals. Let's go ahead to the next slide. All right. There's something I want to tell you. I want you to look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. There's a message for you. From this airport up to where you have, up to where you have the international stadium. These areas are on the globe. What can we do? I went out on 1st October. And it was only one person that brought this Nigerian flag from Onitsha. The guy that came last year was the only person that was still selling. And we are here in this environment. We are here in this environment. What do you do? There are some things that you need to leverage on. There are opportunities that are emerging. So what do we do? Let's go to the next picture. All right, you have people. It is not just for fun. The next one, you have good link road. And so the essence of this is not listen. All this is for you to see where you can leverage on. Let's go to the next slide.
Don't call my number, I beg.
All right. Here you also have there's next slide. Next slide. All right, we have the meridian. Go to the next slide. 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 All right. Next slide. Go to the next slide. All right, next slide. All right. All right. I want to believe that most of you were in the field when the last football match was played between Nigeria and Gambia. Unfortunately, you won. That's the first step. The next step is go and go to that environment. If you go to that environment and you see that there are so many much potentials to tap from that environment, what do we do? It is not about, please listen, in the midst of this, you will find something very useful. And you find that what do you do in this area? These are potential. And the fact is that government has put in place, government has spent so much money in providing this infrastructure so that you can. Are we together? This infrastructure is to assist you to leverage on this. Let's go to the next slide. We have schools that you can take advantage of. Either you develop yourself such that you can lecture in one of these schools. It's still an opportunity that you can explore. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. All right. Let's get to the main area. This is Akiko. Akiko is Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation. Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation. And so Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation is an investment agency of state government. Was created to handle, to facilitate industrialization, entrepreneurship development, and capacity building. So, next slide. And so it has, under the law, from the law establishing it, it has a lot of duties or what we call statutory functions. And what is going to be very relevant to you is to advise, the last function is that advise on facilitating the development of entrepreneurship. In other words, the corporation, one of the major functions was that it was set up to facilitate entrepreneurship and industrial leadership in the state. All right, next slide. And so it means to achieve above functions or to achieve those functions, the corporation has been structured into departments, otherwise departmentalization. And of course, arising from that department, a particular department called entrepreneurship and business development was set up. The function of this entrepreneurship and business development is to handle business advisory services and others. And so that's why when the notice was given, and of course, incidentally, I'm the head of that section, I was asked to come in and give lectures representing the executive chairman and representing the executive chairman of the corporation of the Nigeria. And of course, I can say that this is my own area of core competence. And of course, and so we are saying that therefore, for the purpose of clarity on the topic, these are the areas that we need to address. I'm sure we have done something about it. So we are going to look at who are the youth, what constitutes business advisory. Remember, what we are doing is business advisory for youth. That is the topic. The corporation business advisory for the youth. What we do. And what specific business advice services or services offer to youth. And of course, what is our advice to youth? So let's look at the so many definitions. I'm sure you know about the youth. All right. Nigeria, we say that the youth is from 18 to 35. And in the United Nations, for sake of statistical consistency, we have 15 to 24. Next slide. Next slide. All right. What is business advice? I'm sure we are getting to where you are going.
Yes.
What is business advice? What is business advice? It's called here we offer services. Services. Offer services directly to you. Comprehensive solutions to client business needs. In other words, we tailor our needs to what you require. We tailor our needs state is what it requires. And that is to talk across so many areas: business planning, legal, insurance, accounting and finance, operations, human resources, information, communication, technology, etc. Let's go ahead. Then, article business advice for you. We can classify specific functions of business advice services for you. We can categorize it into about 5. The first one is value orientation, value reorientation. We also have the mentorship program, business development support, business education service, which we call business clinic, and of course, business funding. The first one is value reorientation. Let's go to value reorientation. What do you mean by value reorientation? It's about what we do is that we carry out activities, have to look at activities, program of health that will change the thinking faculty of men and women. We carry out activities that will help you to think differently from status quo. In other words, if you are interested in entrepreneurship, you will be given that. We have activities, workshops, seminars that will help you, that will transform your mind, that will help you to appreciate why you should not think of taking a white-collar job. Most of us wait about 10, 15 years after graduation thinking that we'll have a job, whereas this job, even if you have it, may not be sustainable these days. And so we let you have, we allow you to have opportunity where we can share ideas for you to have knowledge of different things. Let's go to value reorientation and mentorship program. Mentorship program. Can we go to mentorship program? Under mentorship program, the objective of mentoring program is to establish a relationship with accountability and responsibility. If I'm the one mentoring you, if I'm the one giving mentorship, I have a responsibility. And so if the responsibility I have is to ensure that you realize your ambition in life, but so I must account, and then you must also show that you are responsible, that you really want to realize your ambition in life. Because what about a teacher you may be taught in school, but you don't want to listen. So many people, we ask them to, in ICANN class, they are taught maybe cost accounting, management accounting, or performance evaluation, mass management. But some of them will say it's too difficult. 2 days after, 2 weeks after, they dash out, they can't come back. And so, you have the responsibility, the mentor has the responsibility, that's also the mentee. And so, that is the responsibility that you have. And so, we are saying that the mentor, from time to time, shares experiences, where he's coming from, and issues that distract entrepreneurs from achieving its objective. And of course, under mentorship, what we do in the corporation is that whenever we have a workshop of this nature, seminars, we bring in a successful businessman, like people like Ken Johnson. We bring in Ken Johnson. We bring in the late Unama, we call it Benin. We have Ken Johnson, we have Thompson Limited, we call it Benin. We bring in those people, they will tell you stories of how they started from humble beginning. That's why we tell our youth, don't despise humble beginning. Because, if you despise humble beginning, it may not be too good for you. Start small, and of course you reach big. Yes. That is what we do under mentorship. Next one, development support services. Here, what we do is that we provide services, support services, account services, we help in packaging your load, we assist in management operations, such a way that you realize ambition in life. Our approach here is that we visit the temple, we go on visit. We visit our clients, we visit companies from one place to the other, we visit them. Visiting them, we'll be able to see the business challenges that we have, and of course we'll be able to advise that person. Next slide. Business education. We have what we call business clinic. A business can also attend hospital. A business managing director that does not attend, it's just like an individual who attends clinic. We are going to check up, do check up. The same thing, once you establish a business, you need to go for check up to see whether your business is doing well. And so under business clinic or business education, the primary objective is to assist the youth to acquire skills, entrepreneurial mindset and attitude needed to create and develop feasible business models. Then under business clinic, what we do is that we have clinic days in our office. Before we have the clinic days, we will advertise, publish paper that will have clinic days. What we do in that is that people will now come, we organize, we tell members of OPH, organized private sector, we invite them to come, and they will come and share the problem that we have in their business, and from the problem that they have, we'll be able to attend to them on one-on-one basis. The same thing, people that we nurture, at that point, we can also nurture business from inception to maturity. Where you can rely on pressure. Next slide. And so we have implementation study. Next slide. All right. We also have funding through financial models. Of course, we also for entrepreneurs and youth. What we do is that entrepreneurs and youth, what we do is that we link them. We help them to have access to BOI funds. In that case, we ask to submit proposals, submit all relevant documents that will help to access funds. Also, we also have Danjuma. GY Danjuma has a foundation, and so we encourage our youth to also apply. We also have Tony Elumelu Foundation. It's also for angel investors that are people that can start, and of course, we invest in addition. You will invest in addition. Here we have recorded youth sources in this area, most especially in this area of assisting entrepreneurs in sourcing for funds. Then, let's see the advice. The advice that we have for you is that, please, I will advise that you visit Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation. Is in Uyo, number 143, Olu Obasanjo Way, Uyo. Visit the office and take it so that you can take a problem of this nature may not be adequate for us to give you adequate information that will help you realize your ambition in life. And so, if you come to our office, you have opportunity of having one-on-one discussion with us, and we'll show you what to do for you to move forward. And I'm also
Thank you very much. Please, thank you. Hold your clap, please. Let's listen. Please, let's listen.
We can also assist you to source startup capital from different sources. We have a lot of staff that come and assist you in getting funds. Another thing is that what I will always advise young people, youth, is that have a vision. The Bible says that my people perish for lack of vision, for lack of knowledge. And so it is important that you have a vision. Identify what you need to do. Once you identify what you need to do, then because what you want to identify, that you intend to do, you must have the love for that thing. You must have passion. And once you identify it, God will give you success. God bless you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and very noble participants. Thank you very much for your patience and for your time. And of course, to the resource person from Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation, thank you. The representatives, thank you. At this juncture, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before we call it a wrap today, it's my pleasure and very most respectfully invite the co-curator of today's summit, the person that has the vision, the man that has seen tomorrow by his antics already, the man that is making providence so that you and I can enjoy tomorrow. So many things to say about him. Please let me sing that for today. Let's invite Pastor Umar Inobasi to come and give us a wrap of what we've seen today. But I'm here about a man that has distinguished himself by many men. Thank you very much, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Please let's be seated. Thank you. I want to thank everyone that have made presentations here today. Thank you, Akikok, for coming. Interesting part of my takeaway is that the corporation can work with youth to access funding. That's my takeaway tonight, and that they can help repackage your work and work with your vision. And please, it's important that we know these things so that for those of us who talk about funding, you can know that there are avenues for you to get funded once what we're doing can be analyzed properly. So I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time. I also knew that, you know, we've been tense since morning. So your paper provided an avenue for comic relief. But in the midst of all the stuff, there's a good thing that Akikop is doing. I know the corporation, and I know that if we work with them, we can get some coaching. That's very important. We want to thank God for today. We thought we could bring in some light music, but the time is fast spent. Tomorrow we'll open up powerfully with Pastor Akoma Yoga. He's going to speak on maximizing the moment. For all of us, there is the Bible says that we should do the work while it is day. For the night cometh, when no man will do any work. Friends, this is the day season for us, and we need to maximize that moment. A time will come when we will not be able to work. And I read a book in secondary school, it was called This Is Our Chance. And I think we need to take that chance by storm and do something with it. Like my brother said, he has attended many conferences. This is just 40% to balance the conferences. My take on conferences is that any conference I attend, I go away with some to-do. Take my to-dos away and I tick them and follow through, because it will add value to what you already know. So tomorrow we will have the CBN will be here. They have products, and I hope they come in time too, so that we can know the products and how we can access the products. Bank of Industries will be here, and we are taking special interest in Bank of Industry because they are not in Akwa Ibom. And I have to travel to Lagos to talk with their management to encourage them to come so that we can know how to reach them. A lot of us have things to have ideas, and we cannot reach them, we can't access them. So they'll be here tomorrow. The MP actually gave his word that someone will be here to represent Bank of Industry. So you need to know how to access this. Sometimes they give loan up to 50 million naira for equipment. So we need to understand how to reach them. And I ask you to please try and be available here tomorrow. Of course, Mr. Doriana will be talking about growing a business in a depressed economy. That's a challenge for some people. So we need to be more of a working session. Of course, like the MC earlier told you, Right Honorable Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly will be here. Not really to talk about politics, we decided to make this devoid of politics. And that's why you didn't really find us we didn't even, it's not really too much of government. But if you're here to talk about breaking barriers, he's a homeboy. He grew up here, he's been through it here, and he needs to share the experience, our experiences with us. The joy of all of this seminar is that everyone that has spoken today told you their background. So, and they came out of it. So I believe that is inspiring enough that you can take your very destiny in your hands. Want to celebrate everyone that are really here today. Tomorrow we'll start by 9:45 and we'll try to meet up time. We have taken, if you didn't register, if you're here and you didn't register, because some people came and didn't register, we feel that this is the people, entrepreneurs should learn to know the importance of documentation.
Live streaming. Are you guys doing it?
If you don't document yourself well, it will be difficult for anybody to help you. There's a program Dr. Abasi can talk about. It's from that pool that will draw people in the area that he talked about, you know, which is agriculture. So that's why we ask people to register and let's have some information about you. And we trust that we'll be contacting you. On that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's thank the MC for the work he has done and what they have done. Let's put our hands together for them. Again, let's thank our partners, Inspiration FM. Thank you so much, sir, for the work you have done. I want to thank Telecom for the wonderful work that they have done. Telecom, young entrepreneur, doing so well. We just thank them. We thank them for putting all of this together. The media team, the AKBC, all the engineers, the hotel team, the accreditation team, all my staff in royalty. Thank you so much. We've worked out our hearts. Some of us left here this morning. All the volunteers from church, thank you so much. I trust that you will not live without a blessing. On this note, please permit me to invite my father in the Lord to please pray and bring this Thursday meeting to a close. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, and let's please invite Reverend Simeon Afolabi to wrap up the session, wrap up everything we want to. Please come on, Daddy. Say one or two things and then say a closing prayer. We trust to see you, but my goal in all of this is 2 years from now, we should make another royalty. In you, I believe you can get some.
Thank you so much. Jesus spoke a parable of the sower, and said the sower went out to sow. Some fell by the wayside, some fell on the rock, some fell among the thorns, some fell in good soil. It's my earnest belief that the various seeds that have been sown by the speakers today is going into a good soil, because that is the only way you can produce. The one, the thorns, the one on the rock, the one by the wayside, did not come out with anything. I think, like the governor said, 2 years down the line, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, we'll get to know where this seed has gone into, whether it's to a good soil or to the one on the rock. But I pray what you have received today will go into a good soil and it will produce results. On this note, I want us to rise as we pray and bring this meeting to a close. Father, we thank you for how far you have helped us. We committed the proceedings to you in the morning, and you have sustained us, and you have used various facilitators to bring from experiences words of wisdom. We ask of you that what you've sent to us today will not fall by the wayside. We ask of you that this word will not stand against us in judgment, but that we will run with this word. We'll change where we need to change. We'll move where we need to move. We'll make adjustment where necessary. And the Lord, the deposit of the graces we have received today will not be in vain. We ask of you, as we go forth, let your presence go with us. Keep us from evil. Bring us back here tomorrow. And Give us greater blessing as we gather. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. And amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, just a few minutes of your time for a very important announcement, please. Tomorrow, please, we are starting as early as 8, but the most important thing is for you to come with your accreditation tag. The governor has re-emphasized that if you miss it and if you don't come with it, you will not be allowed entrance. Thank you very much for acting accordingly. This is wishing you a super terrific evening. Please, may we allow our special guests the royal privilege of them exiting the hall first. Please give honor to whom honor is due. Thank you. But if they have been a blessing to your life, but allow them exit first. Thank you. With that has been the length and breadth of today's occasion. My name is Edika and I work alongside ID. Very many thanks, fantastic woman. We see you tomorrow. Good night.
All right, sir.